welcome back. This is the vase that I completed in my previous video. I think it turned out so awesome. Look at, it's like a little bit grungy, a little bit cool, and it's definitely a piece that's like, what the heck is that? I love it. Here is the mold. I went ahead and cleaned it up, got all the soap off of it, and I'm leaving it turned inside out because for this vase, I wanted to try to paint the colors on before I turned it inside out and see if that would help it. Now for this piece, I'm going to use some different colors. For the nails, I am going to use the NicPro Chameleon powder. It's red, blue, purple is the name of this color. And it is like really cool. I love this color. And as I moved it side to side and around, I can see the red, blue, and purple. So that was very awesome. So once I get the protective cover off, I got my paintbrush and I'm going to start painting the fingernails. And I was hoping it wouldn't be as messy, but look it, I'm already making a mess. That's all right. That's part of the process. We can clean it up a little bit. I'm not putting a lot of extra powder in these little nail beds. I'm going to just color it because when I turn it around, I know that if I leave extra color in there, it's just gonna pop out everywhere and make a mess. So I'm getting the nail beds painted in as best as I can. And then I will go ahead and give it a turn when it's ready. Turning this mold actually confused me, and I don't know why. I was thinking I had to invert the whole thing, but no, it's just that covering that I painted, that outer edge, that's what I just had to pull. And I'm doing it as gently as I can. I don't want to make a mess. And, I think I did a pretty good job. I didn't make a huge mess. The nails still look painted. And I'm going to start with the next color, which will be the color of the hand. And this one, again, is NicPro Chameleon powder, gold, green, and blue. I thought these two would be really cool. So for my next vase, what colors do you guys think I should try? I have all these great ideas and the colors and all the possibilities because this piece is definitely a conversation piece. When someone says it, they go, what? And it brings a smile to their face. While I keep working on this piece, I want to take a couple of minutes to talk about something that honestly does not get talked about enough in resin art. And it's resin safety. I know safety topics are not always the most exciting part of creating, but they really are important, especially if you plan on working with resin regularly. One of the biggest misconceptions I see online is people thinking resin is harmless just because it's sold in craft stores or because someone on social media is using it without protection. But epoxy resin contains chemicals that can irritate your skin, eyes, and lungs, especially over time with repeated exposure. For me personally, gloves are non-negotiable. I almost always wear nitrile gloves when working with resin because even small amounts on your skin can cause irritation or sensitivity over time. And the tricky thing with resin sensitivity is that sometimes it doesn't happen immediately. Some people can work with resin for months or even years before suddenly developing reactions to it. Ventilation is another really big one. I always recommend working in a well-ventilated area if possible. Open the windows, use fans, and even better, use an air filtration system if you work with resin often. Just because you can't smell the strong fumes doesn't necessarily mean the air is safe. Different resin brands also behave differently, so it's always good to read the manufacturer's safety recommendations. And if you're sanding cured resin, that's another step where safety matters a lot. Resin dust is something you really don't want floating around in your lungs. If you sand the resin pieces, wear a proper mask or respirator and try to keep the dust controlled. Another thing people sometimes forget about is protecting their workspace. Resin has a way of getting everywhere. I use silicone mats, disposable table coverings, paper towels nearby, and I keep rubbing alcohol handy for cleanup. It just makes the entire process a lot less stressful. Also, if you have pets or kids around, resin safety becomes even more important. I also recommend keeping resin supplies and curing pieces completely out of reach while they're still uncured. The biggest thing I want people to understand is this. You can absolutely enjoy resin art safely. I don't say any of this to scare anyone away from resin because honestly, I love working with it. Resin art is one of my favorite creative mediums, but taking resin safety seriously helps make sure you can continue enjoying it long term without problems later. So if you're newer to resin art, let this be a reminder to build good habits early. Your future self will thank you for it. Now, once I'm done painting my mold, I'm going to give my resin just a quick, soft stir. I did mix my resin before I even started this video, so it's been sitting this entire time and it's been releasing bubbles, degassing. So now I'm just gonna give it a quick stir, make sure it's the proper temperature, and make sure that I didn't leave any resin unmixed. Once I start pouring the resin into the mold, I'm doing it slowly and gently, and I'm making sure the resin is poured on top of that middle insert and then slides down the inside of the mold. This helps prevent air bubbles from creating even more, and it seems to help the resin color itself, and the pigment powder just grab into the resin. Now, I'm not going to fill this mold up as much as I did the previous one. I want a little lip on top because the mold I did in the previous video, it was hard to demold because I couldn't release it off of the top. So this, by not filling it up to the top, is going to give me a little bit of wiggle room just so I can start peeling the mold away from the cured resin piece. And since I have extra resin, I got out my little cactus mold and I'm going to paint the inside of it this pink color that I used for the fingernails. And I'm going to just messily do the inside of the arms and the top of the cactus. I'm not going to cover the whole thing because I love my cactuses to be multicolored and a little grungy. And even though we don't have pink cactuses, I think a pink cactus would be really fun. And once I'm done painting, I just give my paintbrush just a quick wipe just to get any extra pigment powder off. And I thought the color of the hand, I'm going to just mix a little bit directly into the resin. And I just tapped it really gently. So I just used the smallest amount because there's really not a lot of resin in that cup. So I just tap, 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 added some color, give it a mix, which I'm glad I did because seeing this color mixed in the resin like this, oh, it was so pretty. I think this might be one of my favorite colors. And then once I get this all mixed in, I will just start pouring it inside my cactus mold. And while I am taking care of this, I also wanted to talk a little bit about Paint Pour Academy membership because I get questions about it all the time. The Academy is basically my online creative community for people who want to keep learning fluid art. and resin art without having to buy separate courses every single time they want to try something new. When you become a member, you get access to my full course library. So instead of just one class, you can jump around, learn all kinds of different techniques at your own pace. There are paint pouring classes, resin art classes, beginner courses, technique focus lessons, color theory, troubleshooting, and so much more. One thing I really wanted when I created the membership was to make it feel approachable for beginners. A lot of people discovered fluid art online and feel overwhelmed because there are so many materials, techniques, and opinions out there. The Academy is designed to help simplify that process and give people a place where they can learn step by step. And honestly, it's not just for beginners either. I have members who are experimenting with advanced techniques, building confidence with resin, improving composition, or just looking for creative inspiration. One of my favorite things about the membership is seeing people go from saying, "I'm scared to try resin," or "I'm not artistic," to suddenly creating pieces that they are genuinely proud of. That transformation is honestly one of the best parts of what I do. And if you're somebody who watches my YouTube videos regularly, becoming a member is also a great way to support the channel and help me continue creating tutorials like this one. YouTube videos are amazing for inspiration and quick projects, but inside the Academy, I go much deeper with the details, troubleshooting, and step-by-step learning processes. The membership is only $15 a month, which I intentionally kept affordable because I wanted it to feel accessible to more people. You can come in, learn at your own pace, binge classes if you want to, participate in the community, and just enjoy creating alongside other fluid artists. So if you've been watching my videos for a while and you've been wanting a little bit more guidance, structure, or community, I'd love to have you inside the Academy. So I let this cure 24 hours, and once it's cured, I can demold it, and I'm gonna start with the cactus. This is a super easy mold to demold. It is super soft silicone, and it just pops right off. And look at how cute this guy is. He's semi-transparent. He has some pink and purple and blue and green. It's just awesome. Now for the fist mold. And I'm sorry, my camera is mounted to the table, so anytime my table moves, the camera moves. And the fist mold, this is so much easier to demold. I have my dish soap water solution. Instead of spraying it like the previous video, I'm getting a pipette and I'm going to inject it in there to see if that helps. So I thought I would try this a little bit differently. And, you know, I think this was a success. It was less messy with the soapy water on the outside of the mold, and I was able to get down in there just to squirt the dish soap solution in there to help the mold release. And give it a little squish, use my thumb just to move it around a little bit, and be mindful that top edge where the resin cured at the top right there, that is sharp. So you got to be very, very careful, especially when using the soapy solution. And look it, here we go. It's just going to slide right out. Very minimal effort. I'm going slow just to be sure that it's not going to fly across the room like I had in a previous project. And look it, there it goes. The middle is a little tough to demold because there is no soapy dishwater. So I just grab it, twist it, pull. Super easy. And I love, love, love how this turned out. It's a metallic. It is got a lot of different colors depending on where you look at it. And I think it's just a great conversation piece. So what colors do you think I should do next time? Let me know in the description box below. Thank you so much for creating this with me, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.